These wheels initially impressed me, but they let me down after a few hundred kilometers on my vacation through the French Alps during one of the Tour de France Queen stages. In this review, I will tell you what happened, how Superteam responded, how they ride, how they compare to competing wheels, and much more. Hey guys, Petr from CyclistShub.com here. I have extensive experience with Chinese carbon wheels, so I will compare all carbon ultras to models like Lún HYPER, Farsports Ventoux S, Elitewheels Pros, Elitewheels DRIVE and more. I double-checked their assembly quality in-house and then rode them on local roads, but also in the Swiss and French Alps. But before I tell you the whole story about these wheels, let's quickly run into their technical details. This model has a rim depth of 50 mm. I always choose a rim depth of around 50 mm for a comparable riding experience between different wheel sets. All carbon ultras are available for rim and disc brakes with different decal colors. Their front wheel weighs 633 grams and the rear wheel weighs 769 grams, so 402 grams in total. Remember, this is the weight with the rim tape. It makes them a few dozen grams lighter than Lún HYPER 2020s, but heavier than Elitewheels DRIVE. They weigh like Farsports Ventoux S 45 mm. I will discuss how this weight affects the riding experience later in this video. Their internal rim width is 21.3 and the external one is 28.7 mm. This width makes them similar to Farsports Wave and Elitewheels DRIVE. Personally, I prefer wider rims as they have a smoother transition between the rim and the Farsports Ventoux 40R 28 mm tubeless tire I use. You may have also noticed the wide carbon spokes. These are some of the widest ones I've ever used, measuring 5.2 mm at the widest point. They should improve stiffness and aerodynamics. The wheels feature Superteam branded hubs with ceramic bearings, although they are manufactured by a different company. As you will find out later, the hubs were the main source of the issues. I noticed at Eurobike 2023 that similar hubs are pretty popular among Chinese manufacturers. However, the hub flanges are drilled out a lot, making a possible weak point. Furthermore, in case of a spoke failure, there are no side caps to keep the other spokes in place. To be honest, I didn't have high expectations for these wheels, given that I associate Superteam brand with cheap carbon wheels sold on Amazon. But when they reached out to me, I was curious to see how their flagship wheelset would perform. The unboxing experience was standard, with intact wheels that looked pretty cool, especially due to the chrome decals. In my opinion, the rim pattern is just a marketing gimmick that doesn't impact the ride quality or aerodynamics. However, I don't have data to support this claim. I was pleasantly surprised to find that the wheels were almost perfectly centered. They were on par with the Oleo wheels, which are known for their excellent build quality. I didn't see any significant deviations. Next, I checked the spoke tension. It was consistently balanced, except for 3 spokes that deviated from the average by less than 10%, which is still a good result. Therefore, it was not surprising that the hubs were perfectly centered, which I confirmed using a wheel dishing tool. Out of curiosity, I used the endoscope to look inside the rim. The internal structure looked smooth. However, I occasionally came across small remnants of epoxy. The final test involved mounting a Farsports Ventoux 40S tubeless tire. Unfortunately, I didn't have a brand new one, but mounting an old one was easy. I didn't need tire levers. I also appreciated that the tubeless tape was pre-applied, saving me time and money. I believe this should be a standard for tubeless wheels. I then seated the tires effortlessly using an air compressor. With the wheels ready, I swapped them onto my bike and set out. I took a risk and went for a proper ride in the Czech mountains, which measured about 130 kilometers with an elevation gain of 3,300 meters. The route included long, gradual climbs, steep sections, fast descents, flat roads and rolling terrain. I was genuinely impressed with the wheels, so I decided to take them on my active vacation in Switzerland, France and Italy. In the Swiss Alps and for a few days in France, they performed as expected, matching the riding characteristics I was used to at home. However, everything changed while climbing one of the steep sections of Col de la Loze. The real hub failed. Hey guys, I have super disappointing news. My bike is completely broken, or not completely, but Actually the free hub body is destroyed, so I cannot pedal under pressure. I was so disappointed because I was left stranded about 4 kilometers below the summit. Before that I was flying uphill, and then within a few seconds I had to walk and push my bike. It was so embarrassing because many people look at me with faces like, "He's so lean and yet he is pushing his bike. What a loser!" The failure manifested itself in the fact that I could only soft pedal. Otherwise, it felt like the cassette was skipping. I did a closer inspection once I returned home, but found no visible defects. The issue was likely with the free hub. It was like the star ratchet gears were skipping under pressure. You can watch the following clip for an illustration. Unfortunately, this failure did not allow me to return back to my accommodation, which was about 60 kilometers away. Fortunately, a group of Italians took me back. Grazie ancora. Luckily, I had a spare pair of wheels so I could continue my cycling holiday. But can you imagine if I didn't have them? I contacted Superteam and described the problem. I appreciate that they have addressed it head on. They apologized and offered to send me a replacement wheel. The problem with the hub was allegedly caused by the wrong ratchet size in this batch of hubs. According to Superteam, everything has been rectified. However, this is where I come to the key questions. How to verify that this statement was really translated into real actions and measures? How common is this problem, and is there a chance that other customers will or already have encountered it? I honestly don't know the answers to these questions. I can only say that this failure came at the least appropriate moment. It's clear that Superteam cares about its reputation, so a few weeks later I received spare parts to repair the old free hub and a brand new rear wheel. First, I started using the new wheel. I rode it for about 500 kilometers and so far so good. I also replaced the bearings and star ratchet gears in the old hub. I rode the wheels for another 200 kilometers or so, and I haven't encountered any issues yet, so it seems my repair was successful. I will lend the wheels to a friend, and if any issues occur, I will inform you through my Instagram account, so make sure to follow me there. If it wasn't for the failure, these wheels had the potential to be one of the best Chinese carbon wheels I've ever ridden, especially considering their price of around $1,000 US. They provide a perfect balance between stiffness and comfort, similar to, for example, the Farsports Ventoux S. Weight-wise, they are heavier than the Elitewheels DRIVE, but they are a few grams lighter than the HYPERs and a few hundred grams lighter than the Elitewheels Pro. Surprisingly though, they don't suffer when riding on flats, where perhaps thanks to the white carbon spokes and the weight distribution, they maintain momentum similarly well to Farsports Ventoux S or Elitewheels Pros. Unfortunately for Superteam, the failure eroded my confidence in their wheels. What if they'll fail again? How would someone without spare wheels handle the situation? And would an ordinary customer get the same service as I did because I am a reviewer? I would love to hear from you. Would you buy these wheels after knowing what happened? Let me know in the comments below. Due to the rear hub failure, I can't recommend them 100%, but ride-wise, they are honestly really good. It sucks that the first batches had these problems. Sadly, many Chinese manufacturers are often overconfident and simply rush their products to the market without proper quality control. All the more reason to subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to tell you about any issue I encounter when testing products, regardless of any potential affiliate commission. I will leave entirely up to you whether you decide to use the Cyclists Hub discount code for 5% off on Superteam wheels. It's just a bonus for you that you watched until the end. Anyway, I hope you find this review helpful. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Ciao!